Chapter 2, Scientific Management. First of all, let us try to understand what is scientific management and who has given the scientific management. The Frederick Winslow Taylor, he was an American engineer and he has given the idea of scientific management. He contributed a lot about the theory, classical theory, and he was known as a father of scientific management. These 2 points you have to keep in mind for your one-liner answer or MCQ. So, he has given a definition for scientific management. What he said, that knowing exactly what you want your man to do. You must know first of all that your labor is working, what he is supposed to work and how he is supposed to work. And then see into what they are doing, whether they are doing it properly or not, or whether they are having any diversification in the work or deviation in the work. Those points are to be kept in mind. In the best and the cheapest way. Also to consider that whatever your management theory, the method you apply should be economical, should not be too expensive, should not be beyond a company's capacity to handle. So 3 aspects to be kept in mind. Number 1, your man, what he has to do. Number 2, keep a close watch on what he is doing, whether he is doing as per the standard, as per the demand or not. And number 3, the cost aspect. So this is what the definition can be asked again for 1 mark. Second, what are the main points he has said, that is the revolutionary thoughts given by the Taylor. He has recommended his scientific management into 3 major points. He was totally against the traditional theory of management, and after a traditional theory he has given the new theory, that is what scientific management. So he said that each worker should be assigned work as per his mental and physical ability. You can't ask a person to do which he is not capable of. I used to give you an example earlier also. The person who is a chemical engineer, and if you ask that person to work in account department, is it possible? Is it good? Is that you are going to get a good output? So, the mental, physical abilities of a person should be kept in mind when you assign job to him. Number 2, that worker instructed to perform maximum work as per capacity. They have not to waste a single minute. When they are on work, they should have the feeling that work is worship. You have to avoid unnecessary movement, you have to avoid unnecessary wastage, and you have to see that they are performing their best possible abilities, capacities, and their optimum return to be given to the company. Number 3, that worker doing efficient work must get more wages. That is, wage should vary from 30% minimum to be given to every worker, whether working or not, but just as a token of appreciation, at least 30% rise should be given to most of the worker. And those who are working excellent, their excellence should be considered. Excellence should be appreciated, and they must get 100%, up to 100% rise. If you discriminate this, then only the hard workers will motivated and they will work more. So discrimination should be there. All should not be treated equal. So these are the main three revolutionary thought that scientific management theory has recommended. Now the next point, principles of scientific management. What principle, in which way he has expressed. We have already known about that Frederick Taylor, that he was an American mechanical engineer and known as a father of scientific management. Because he was a worker initially, then gradually he became the manager. So he himself has experienced each and every drawbacks, loopholes and the system matter. So he experienced, so he is able to say better in his scientific theory. So he recommended the first principle, that here the scientific method should be adopted. You have to give up the traditional theory. You have to give up the traditionalism. Your approach should be scientific. You have to take an analysis before adopting any particular method. You try out 2-3 methods and then select the best, which is based on an analysis, based on your theory study, and which is going to be the best, which is capable of providing the good qualitative production at a lower cost. So your method should be scientific. Secondly, he said that you should have planning and implementation. There are two aspects. The total work of management should be divided into two. Number one is the planning. Experts and the leaders are there. They are going to plan. And the implementation has to be done by the workers. So both the parties should be different. Both the aspects are different. Worker cannot be asked to plan and the management expert are not supposed to do physical work. So you have to see that planning and implementation should be totally different and must be done by different people. Number 3, job analysis. He has emphasized on the job analysis study. He talked about the time study. What do you mean by time study? Time study means to complete a particular task. There is a specific time requirement. No one can complete that task before that given time. At the same time, one should not take the time unnecessarily more than the stipulated time. So you have studied that how much time is required to complete particular task, and make sure and emphasize that everybody should use only that much time for production. Number 2 is the motion study. Motion means movement. Here you have to pay an attention that during the production process, the labor as well as raw material, both are need to move from one place to another. Make sure that there should not be the wastage of time again, and unnecessary movement should not be there. Only the specific required material and the labor supposed to move from one place to another. So the motion, their movement should be checked out. Number 3, that is the fatigue study. Here they say, after all we concerned with human need a rest. One cannot work 8 hours at a stretch. There should be a little space, little time for the relaxation, so that the timing for the rest must be scheduled properly, and ensure that no one take more time than whatever is the prescribed rest time. You see in your school, You have 8 period timetable. After a 4 class, you have a break. That is what called recess. So every human requires some resting time. So that resting time also to be studied and to be assigned. Number 4, he has talked about the standardization. He said whatever work we do should be according to standard specifications. So you have to do standardization and simplification of your methods, material, your process and your production schedule. So standardization has to be done well in advance so that you can compare the standard what you have set up and the particular output what you are getting. So standardization and simplicity. It should be as simple as possible. Don't make complex things so that the labor cannot do. So simplicity. Now all these things to be done in advance. Which are the factors to be considered for this? Number 1, whatever equipment you use should be standardized. Should be up to the mark quality. Should not be allowed to have an inferior things. Your time, as we said in the time study, you know how much time is required. For an example, to write an exam for the 12th board, 3 hours will be given. It's a standard time. If the child is asking 4 hours, we should not allow. So the required time only to be assigned. The situation of work, at what particular situation, what should be the environment, what should be the requirement for working condition. The resources, what is available and what demand to be satisfied. Worker may ask any particular facility. It is not possible. If it required, then only that facility to be given. We have to see whether the resources are properly arranged or not. So all these things are to be considered at time of deciding your standardization, your specification. Because based on this, the deviation can be found. Deviation means something different than standardized what you have decided. Number 5, that he said that there should be scientific selection and training of the worker. When you take an employee, it should not be at random. It should not be based on the bias selection. It should not be on the base of the reference and context of somebody. You have to select a scientific process to be followed for selection. We are going to learn about the whole process of selection later on. So it should be scientific. It should be according to the proper theory and methodology. Whosoever is selected must be trained. Emphasis to be given for the training. The students are coming out from their only graduation and only from their, you can say that, study from the universities, campus. They are freshers. They don't know how to behave in a factory environment. And the whole crores of rupee plant and machinery cannot be handed over just like that. You have to train them to first use those plant and machinery, so that there is an increase in efficiency of those workers. After a training, the efficiency can be improved. The work has to be given as per education and skill. Every worker learn, and their education and their skill, the mastery about their work should be taken care of. The various scientific tests are to be conducted so that you can know the interest area of the worker. Okay, you may take that IQ test, you may take the stress management test, and various tests are required so to know the worker's interest. The 6th, he said that financial motivation. Worker is working for what? He is working to get finance. Money is the only major motivating source. So here the skilled worker if you want to retain the skilled worker, you have to motivate them financially. So proper financial motivation has to be given to the skilled worker. If you don't give that 100% output to the person who is skilled, knowledgeable and successful, he will leave your firm. Your labor turnover ratio will increase. So you need to motivate your labor properly. Seventh, he said that it should be economical. Whatever you do, you have to see the cost aspect. Emphasize on the low production cost also to be considered. Because in market you have to sell your product and you have to earn profit. If you invest too much, then your margin will be low. So the cost estimation, cost control methods and the deviations are to be kept in mind. Lastly, he said that mental revaluation. Here there should be a total mindset change of the worker as well as management. The management, they have to consider that if workers are working, we are earning. At the same time, worker also has to think that if the management is paying us, we are comfortably living with a good standard of living. So there should not be a mental rivalry between these two. There should be understanding that management can't survive without worker, and worker also has to accept that without management our family can't survive. So there should be one kind of that between the owners and the worker, one understanding should be there. There should be reduction in the stress. If that mental stress is low, if that rivalry is low, then the achievement of goal possible. So these are the 8 principles the Taylor has recommended that if you follow in your industry, definitely you can do well. Now for the homework, you have the question number 1, what is scientific management? We have already written the definition. You can explain that definition in your own words. Question number 2, what is the rule of thumb? Traditional theory was talking about rule of thumb. It means that workers are like a slaves. They have no right to raise their voice, and what the management dominantly say, they have to follow. That situation known as a rule of thumb. So that you have to explain for 1 mark. And the third, that describe the principle of scientific management. All these 8 principles what the Taylor has recommended, explain in detail for the long question. This may be there for 5 marks. What you mean by scientific management and describe the principles given by Taylor. So this way, from exam point of view, you have to prepare question 1 mark, again 1 mark. This is for 3 or 5 marks. And here 2 MCQs are there, that who is the father of scientific management, and next that Frederick Taylor, he was the American mechanical engineer. This may be there for the MCQ. Any problem or doubts if you have, you can write in the comment section, raise your questions, get it solved and enjoy the learning. Thank you.